Hi, my name's Heather McFadden, and I'm here to talk to you today about networking. Robin Sharma says, the fears that we don't face become our limits. And a long time ago, when I was younger, I was deathly afraid of being in a place that I didn't know anybody. In fact, it was kind of paralyzing through high school. And in college, I realized I had an issue because I didn't know anybody there. And so I needed to figure out a way to break that fear and get out there and get to know people. And so what I did was I started talking to people. I would introduce myself. I would find out who they were. I would ask them, hey, who's this person? Who's that person? And I got to the point where I wanted to know everybody in a room at any given time, wherever I was. And that became part of how I was able to become successful today when it comes to networking and talking to people. Networking is to actively engage with people from a variety of different settings in a bunch of different ways in order to learn, socialize, collaborate, and the benefit is business. It's kind of a visual, if you can take a look and see what networking looks like. It's essentially just people connecting with people, connecting with people. But the great thing is that this person over here might really need to know this person over here, and we can benefit by knowing those people in between. There are many benefits of networking. First one is knowledge acquisition. And knowledge acquisition basically means we talk to people to learn things. We learn all kinds of information about things we don't need to know about, and lots of things we do need to know about, like our business and what's out there and what we can do and how we can get involved. And so this opportunity to rub elbows with the people that know things can be very successful for us. Better opportunities when seeking a job. So you decide that you're interested in working at a company and you realize that one of your connections works at that company. So shoot them an email. Hi, my name's so-and-so. I'm interested in scheduling an appointment for this job. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? Can you tell me who my contact person might be? These are the kinds of things that help you get further in life. Without those contacts, we're going in at the same playing field as everybody else. Business contacts. Business contacts mean sales. So if you are going into a sales environment and you're out there and you're doing your thing and you're talking to people and you're meeting people, the best thing you want to do is just get to know them first, earn their trust, determine something that you can take with you when you run into them again. The last thing you want to do is ask for a sale right away. But what you do want to do is talk to them about personal things. So then the next time you go to see them, imagine the look on his face when you say, hey, how's your wife Lucy doing? It's been a really long time. I hope she's doing well. They're going to remember that you remembered that. And that shows that you do care, but it shows that you listen. And that is huge when it comes to business. These kinds of things will turn into sales over time. Not now. It takes time. Especially like if you're selling insurance or something. People don't immediately jump to buy insurance. But when that time comes, they might think of you. And that's a bonus. Resources and resource reciprocity. There's going to be times in your business life or even in your personal life when you're going to need something. So it's best to help other people with that. If you can be a resource by knowing what you know and helping someone else, you can take that advantage and bring it to your own life as well. For example, if I know somebody who works in, I would say like a healthcare environment where it's an old folks home, so to speak, and my mother's getting older and I need to ask some questions, I can reach out to her very easily. Hi, I'm concerned, I'm confused, I'm overwhelmed. Can you and I sit together and talk a little bit about this? That personal connection is going to make a world of difference when it comes to the very next step of the thing you need to do. Also, the more you talk to people and the more they hear what you have to say and the more you earn credibility and trust, the more you're going to look like an expert in your field. And when you're an expert in your field, people are going to want to work with you. For example, I was working in staffing for a really long time. And I got to see people all the time out there. But they also got to see me out there talking my game, explaining things, being able to recite data and things that I'm seeing in the news. And when I do that and I speak with confidence, I can back that up when it's time to get them people when they need them. There's a lot of different networking platforms out there. So, for example, social media is probably the number one. Now, with social media, we're talking LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I would stay away from Snapchat personally, but Twitter's also a good one. Remember, it's so important to clean up your social. Anything that someone's seeing on one, they want to be able to look and see your other pages. Anybody that's looking to see if they want to work with you, they want to know what's on there. They want to know what's out there. So if it's violent, offensive, inappropriate, political, unfortunately, you got to take all that stuff down. People don't want to know that stuff. They want to know that you're honest, and they want to see who you are as a person. But if you're very, very conservative and you're having a really hard time with what's going on in the news, or let's just say you're a Democrat and you're liberal and you're struggling with how to justify what's going on with our president right now, you don't want your business contacts to know that information. They're going to make judgments, especially if it doesn't flow with theirs. So stay away from that sort of thing. Another thing you can do is Chamber of Commerce. They offer a lot of networking. They do networking at night. They used to do business roundtables during the day. It was called speed networking, where you would have lunch, meet with people. You're often able to go to those things without having to pay anything, or go as a guest and maybe pay $10 or $15. It's worth the time. Make sure you bring a business card. If you don't have one, make one. There's no reason why you can't have your name, your school, that you're a student, your phone number, your social connections, and an email or something like that. Conferences and conventions. This one can be a little tricky, but once you get out there and you start seeing what's out there, you'll know that there's a lot of information, presentations, places to get to know things. Look it up. Google it. If you're someone who wants to know more about accounting, look and see if there's accounting conventions or conferences or webinars or anything like that where you can gain knowledge and meet people as well. If you're not sure and you want to become involved, but you don't want to pay that hefty price, contact the person that's coordinating it, asking them if you can come and sit in. Tell them you're a student. Tell them you're learning and you just want to get an idea what these things are. Maybe they'll let you get in or give you a one-day pass. Networking, specific industry groups. These are kinds of things that we just talked about. Again, for staffing. So there's Mid-Atlantic Staffing Group that I was involved in, and then there was the National Association for Staffing that I was involved in. These are the people that know things and they can connect you to things. For example, if I wanted to know more about safety, I was able to reach out to the safety manager of Elwood Staffing, who lived in, I think, Georgia. She had a southern accent. But when I needed to ask a question, she and I weren't conflicting in business, so she was able to help me out because we were not in direct competition with each other. That was a great benefit. The final one is networking groups. One of the ones that you can think about, there's young clubs, young professionals, mastermind. There's the Pagoda Network that's local and it's free. And there's BNI, which is a national one. They meet twice a month, I believe, and there is a cost to join that. So do some research. Find a mentoring group. Find small groups. These are really going to help you in the long run. So are you thinking, how do I get started? How do I do this? Good. I hope so. First thing you want to do, if you haven't done so already, is create a LinkedIn account. And when you're on LinkedIn, you definitely want to make sure that you are keeping your page as clean as possible, but also as complete as possible. Clean up your social media. So important. Join an industry-specific group. Listen, I'm going to make myself sound old, but when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet. We had to go to the library if we wanted to find something out. But the truth is, everything you need to know is at your fingertips. Google it. Go on there and see what's out there. Attend a networking event. Probably one of the hardest things to do if you're an introvert. Do it anyway. Volunteer. Number one thing to be able to connect with people. It's not about business. It's about saying things like, hey, I'm really glad I'm here. I want to be a part of the community. Anybody who's anybody in the industry today, especially in Berks County, is not just working. They are networking and they are involved in their community. It's a whole facet. Community leadership and community involvement is enormous. First of all, it looks great on a resume, but hey, it gives you a lot of great ways to spend your extra time, makes you feel good about yourself. And helping others is never a bad thing. Finally, talk to people. Talk to people in the grocery store. When you're waiting in line, make conversation. The more you do that, the better you're going to be at it, and that's going to help you. I'm sure you guys have seen this zone before, this comfort zone picture. So here it is. But this is where the magic happens. You've got to step out of your comfort zone. That's how we grow. So remember, this process takes time. Establishing connections takes time. Earning trust takes time. Be patient. You're not in a rush. Things will come. Remember to be consistent, to be authentic, to remember what you say to people. Take notes so that you can go back and say, oh, I'm sorry. How's your dog? I remember they were sick. Instead of, oh, hey, did we meet somewhere before? Because that just looks like you didn't care. Get out there, do the best you can, make networking a huge part of it. It's really going to help you out when you get out there. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I'm Heather McFadden, and this was my talk about networking.